Okay, we should be live. Finally, after I think a month without streaming, we're back live on the channel. I want to thank you all for joining the stream. If you're watching this as a recording, feel free to skip through the beginning. We're going to wait for a few minutes until people start joining in. I'll just open up the comment section here and we'll start taking a look at your altcoins. And we'll start talking about the markets in general because things have been crazy. If you take a look at the Bitcoin market cap, we are sitting at $723 billion. Ethereum is sitting at $2,000. This is really, really good. But I'm gonna give you a few reasons why I think there is going to be a pullback before we eventually get to the bull market. Cryptoparas, hello there. Coin Hoover, welcome to the stream. Adrian Marius Pop, welcome to the stream. Welcome everyone who's joining in. Coin Hoover says crypto is pumping and it's been great. Green everywhere. Exactly, but we don't have to start FOMOing in and we don't have to get, overly bullish, because there comes a time when you should be obviously bullish, but right now you should be cautious because this is probably just another manipulation where the big boys are going to try to liquidate all the weak hands, all the short positions, and then all the long positions, and it's just going to be a back and forth until we properly get to the bull market in 2024. So feel free to start sending in your altcoins. We'll be taking a look at a lot of them. But right now, I want to take a look at the weekly chart for Bitcoin. So we are looking extremely healthy. Bitcoin is doing everything it needs to be doing. We broke above the August 2022 high, which is... Where's the August high? There we go. That was the August high. No, give me a second. There we go. I don't have my glasses on. So that's the August 2022 high, and we broke above that successfully. We had two nice back tests of support, and then we're pumping. On the weekly, if you can take a look at this massive trend line that we have, we broke above it, back test of support, and another move to the upside. So it's really, really doing everything it needs to be doing. Right now, we could run into the golden ratio, which is sitting at 38,335, and then we could see a retracement from there because we're kind of running into some resistance at these levels around 37 to 38,000 because this is our February and January 2022 low. And don't be surprised if we drop all the way back down to $28,000. That's still possible. We could wick down there. But it would be nice if we can hold 30,500. That is going to be our major level of support based on these two highs from April 2023 and June 2023. That's going to be an important level for us to hold. But you can see that we're getting overextended. The weekly RSI is already above the index of 70. So something is brewing here. We're going to see a pullback sooner rather than later. And if we zoom out and we take a look at the RSI and we take a look at the price action, I want to take you back to 2019 to this rally from December 2018 to July 2019. And as you can see, we got overextended there. And this was sort of the first rally out of this year-long bear market that we saw from the beginning of 2018 to the end of 2018. We saw this massive rally and then we got a pullback. We got the COVID dump as well, which we could have a black swan event before the bull market, or we could possibly avoid it this time. But the thing is, you dumped from that high there, you got overextended, you went as low as the RSI of 31 on the weekly, and then you went into the proper bull market. So a very similar situation could be happening right now where we get overextended on the weekly. We probably go up for another week or two, and then we have a correction. And then starting from January into April, we'll have another leg up. But until that, we could be looking at a retracement, maybe even below the index of 50 on the weekly RSI. So please understand that you'll still have a good buying opportunity, but this is probably going to be the last buying opportunity. I know a lot of people say this a lot of times, but if we're probably going to be going into the bull market in 2024 if we have a massive crash before the end of the year, that is probably going to be the last time you're going to be seeing a lot of these altcoins at those cheap prices. Viral trending videos. Can you look at Vchain? Thanks, brother. We'll take a look at Vchain. Polkadot had big movement this week without influence of Bitcoin. Well, I think Polkadot had an okay move to the upside, not a very big one, but for a higher cap altcoin, it was a pretty good move, I'll be honest. All right, so that's pretty much it for Bitcoin. Like I said, I would be expecting a retracement. Worst case scenario, we dump towards this low over here at 24,000, between 25,500 down to 24,000, but that would be the worst case scenario. Ideally, we don't want to be losing the 55 EMA on the weekly because we already printed the bullish cross. Once you do that, that is sort of your bull market signal. So we're definitely not coming back down to $16,000 here. I don't think that is going to be happening. I don't think anyone is arguing for that anymore. And everyone who is waiting for a $10,000 to $12,000 Bitcoin, which we also set up a block here just in case we do dump there, but everyone who was waiting on the sidelines to get into Bitcoin at $14,000 to $12,000, well, they're still sitting here with their cash while everything is pumping. So that's what I want you guys to avoid, because these people got greedy with their predictions. Bitcoin kept dumping and dumping and dumping, and they kept setting lower and lower targets to the point where Bitcoin reversed and they were still sitting with their stinky fiat. So I did not do that mistake. I was buying through the bear market. We have a lot of good entries into a lot of altcoins. We'll be taking a look at them. And starting off with Vchain. Let's actually take a look at Vchain. We have someone asking for that. Okay, there we go. So Vchain. This is the weekly chart, I believe. Yeah, that's the weekly chart for Vchain. Let's see what's going on. Okay, so we essentially retested this June 2023 low in September, which was a perfect entry point. We also came back down into this purple support block that we gave you on one of the previous videos, I believe, for Vchain. So between 0.0159 down to 0.0147. That was an amazing entry point for all of you who still haven't bought into Vchain. And right now we're up approximately 53%. And we are approaching the 55 EMA. We have broken above the 20. So do you want to be buying right now? I would say probably not. If you're really eager and you want to enter Vchain as soon as possible, maybe buy a bit here and then just wait for a pullback. But I think a pullback from here is pretty imminent. I'm not saying we're not going to continue pumping, but I'm just saying you really don't want to be buying when you're pumping. You want to be buying when you're dumping. Now, personally, I don't have any Vchain at the moment, and I don't think I'm planning to buy into it anytime soon. Now, you can take a look at this yellow trend line here. You can see we had one back test in August last year, then another one in March this year. And right now we could be looking for a third one, or we could be looking for a breakout. So if there is going to be a breakout, we could potentially come all the way up to this August 2022 high at 0.0325 cents. And that is going to be the point that, or the level that rejects us finally. And then we come back down, we back test the yellow trend line as support, and then off we go into 2024. That's a relatively bullish outcome, I would say. The more bearish outcome would be us getting rejected from the 55 EMA and we come back down to the 20 to get some support and then have another move to the upside. So regardless, the 20 EMA is your current support. If you're going to be waiting for the price to come back down to 0.0147 or 148, you're going to be just like the people who waited for Bitcoin to drop back down to $12,000 to $10,000, right? You're going to get left behind. And I'm not saying the price is never going to come back down there. All I'm saying is that you're going to be taking a huge risk if you're going to be sitting on the sidelines waiting for a specific price to be hit just because you want to buy there, right? That's not how the markets work. So if you haven't bought into this yet, wait for a pullback, not a financial advice, of course. Buy off the 20 EMA on the weekly and you should be fine. Even if you're buying in from here, you can see that we're only up approximately 60% or 58% from the bear market low. So it's still not too bad compared to some other altcoins that have already done incredible since their bear market lows. And you can see we are printing, or we have been in this falling wedge pattern, and we are breaking out of it. So our technical target here is going to be sitting at 0.03 cents. So essentially 3 cents is going to be our target. And if you measure the move from where we are right now up to 3 cents, that's another 28%. So it is possible we're going to see either a wick to 3 cents, or maybe we start closing candles above the yellow trend line, which would be a very good thing. As you can see here, the RSI is pumping as well. We were taking a look at all of this, and I told you guys, you want to be buying in before you see the breakout. Right now you saw the breakout and people want to buy in all of a sudden. Well, I mean, you're going to be buying at higher prices if you're going to, continue being greedy, and you're going to continue waiting for lower lows. But that's all we have for Vchain. Anton Pashkulev, Solana will pump to 78 and then retrace. Well, possibly. SB, hey there, nice seeing you on the stream. QNT still one of the few that's not pumped. Surely it's got to make a move soon. TA, please, Hazik. We'll take a look at QNT. M, hey there. What are your favorite 100x coins? So I'll show you one 100x coin that I have. And I'm not going to really reveal all of them, obviously, because I cover them on the Patreon, and that would obviously devalue the Patreon if I were to, reveal all the low cap gems that we follow there. But if you want to check out the Patreon, it's linked down below in the description. You have a 7-day free access to all of my content, including my portfolio and the low caps. We have approximately 50 plus low cap posts there. A lot of those coins have been doing great already, and feel free to join in, see if you like it. If not, you can always leave. You don't have to pay upfront. Forming a W bottom, maybe. Yeah, so Vchain did kind of form a nice W bottom here, and if we want to potentially take a look at the target there, we're going to be looking at roughly 0.026 cents, which from where we are right now is going to be another, if I can measure the move there, 20% to the upside. So, I mean, Vchain could still move up a little bit, but I don't think that we're going to be doing a massive, 5x, straight off the bat. So just wait for a retracement and then start buying in. But when you're going to be buying in, realize that that could be the last time you're looking at those cheap prices. So let's open up Polkadot. And I do have Polkadot. I'm staking my coins, and I gave you all of these prices. We recently dropped a Polkadot video on the channel. I think it was yesterday, so feel free to check that out if you want a more detailed breakdown of the Polkadot charts. But we essentially gave you this price at $3.74. We gave you 3 targets to look for. That was $3.74, $3.44, and $3.10. If you set up buy limit orders for all of those prices, and you only got filled on the 1.272, that's fine, but still you're buying in below $4. That is extremely cheap, and already from that 1.272 you are up 47%, and that is great. We are looking at a similar situation, just like the one that we saw on the Vchain chart, because we have a massive resistance, descending resistance trend line from August 2022, and we could be running into it one more time. But the fact is that we're breaking out of this falling wedge as well, and the target here is going to be at $7.50. So that could be met before the end of the year, very realistically, in my opinion. Very bullish on Polkadot 2.0. If we're going to be seeing another retracement back to the 20 MA below $5, I will probably buy more Polkadot. This is one of my top 10 holdings in my portfolio. So let me know, what are your targets for Polkadot? Are you bullish? Are you buying? To be honest with you, even $5.54 is extremely cheap. And next up, let's take a look at Solana, because that has absolutely exploded. I was not expecting Solana to do this well, because we did a TA recently where we gave you a few targets, and we covered $72 as a pretty target that's far away. But taking a look at where the price is right now, $72 isn't that far off. And we are getting a bit overextended. We're going to be looking for a bullish cross on the weekly here, which is great to see. We absolutely exploded above all of our extension levels on the smaller fib, so we can remove it for now. And congratulations to everyone who was buying Solana at these prices, where we gave you specific blocks where you could enter. We gave you these prices. We gave you these prices in June of 2023. So if you were planning to buy Solana, if you like the project, you could have entered there if you were following my videos, because we were doing Solana updates throughout the bear market, throughout the, the consolidation here. So my subscribers knew the entry points, and a lot of them got in at good prices. And right now they're looking pretty good in terms of ROI. So Solana is looking healthy, obviously very overextended. So buying in right now is going to be the dumbest thing you can do, because this is just like buying Solana here at $200. You don't want to be doing that because you're very overextended, you're overbought, there's a lot of hype in the markets. Yes, there's volume coming in. Yes, we could pump slightly higher, but do you really want to be buying something that in a month already did 168%? And this is a high cap altcoin. It's probably going to have a nice retracement after this, just like Chainlink. So be careful buying into coins like these right now, because there are a lot of these coins there that are pumping and doing crazy gains in a matter of, in the span of a few weeks. So be careful buying into those. Wa'il Nabil, we'll take a look at NEAR. Don't worry. Anton Pashkulev, isn't this pump an indicator of which will be the best performing alts next bull market? Most that are underperforming right now will disappoint, in my opinion. Solana, Link, Kaspa, and INJ look juicy. Yes, I agree. So I don't necessarily agree that any coins that are underperforming right now will not perform well during the bull market. But I agree that any coin performing well right now will perform obviously amazing during the bull market, aka Chainlink, which I have, INJ, which I have. We're going to take a look at INJ next because we have a crazy entry point in September last year. So I don't think Polkadot will do bad in the next bull market, especially with their Polkadot 2.0 upgrade. I think it's going to be doing very well if they actually implement it the right way and projects start coming in and start building on their blockchain. That would be great, and obviously there's going to be demand. But INJ and Chainlink obviously are going to be doing massive things during the bull market, so fully agree there. And Solana is one of those coins. Now, personally, I don't like Solana because of how centralized it is. And right now, we can see that it can actually flow without the, or it can pump without the FTX influence, which is great to see. That shows that the project can actually stand on their own 2 feet, and they have a lot of institutional investors coming in. So I think this coin is going to be performing pretty well. I don't have any Solana. I was not buying in at these prices. I don't feel sad about that because I was buying into some other coins that are actually doing pretty well as well, or pretty good as well. Now, if you're looking for entry points, obviously the first point here would be $34.15. That's based on this large Fibonacci retracement that we have from the low in January 2023 up to the high in November 2021. This 0.382 level is going to be your initial support that you want to come back down to. And then you have the 20 and the 55 EMAs that are way down here. So you're potentially going to be looking for a 42% retracement in the next month or so if we start dropping, because the faster you go up, the harder you drop. That's just something that happens every single time. Could you please have a look at Flux, says Element71. We'll take a look at Flux. Thank you for the Polk review. Currently, I'm waiting for a pullback around $5. Yeah, $5, great entry point. Like, if you have a good Polkadot position right now, there is no need for you to rush into, into a purchase. But if you don't have any Polkadot, then maybe buying in some now is not the worst idea. Not only because it's very cheap, even at the current prices, but because we could continue pumping, right? You never know what's going to happen. So you might as well just buy some just so you are exposed to the project, at least in some capacity. Did you do Chainlink already? No, we did not do Chainlink already. Can you analyze Egld and AVAX when you have the chance? Ruben Kendan says, yes, we'll take a look at all those altcoins, and we're going to be back on the live stream probably every Saturday now. We're going to be doing them on Sunday as well, starting next week, and we'll probably be doing some on weekdays as well. So if you're able to watch, that's fine. If not, tune in on the weekends. So let's take a look at INJ now, because this is performing really well. Now, believe it or not, we were buying in INJ on my Patreon all the way down here in September 2022. We bought in, I think, at $1.40 or something like that. And I've been staking ever since. And right now, my average buying price is down to $1.26. So it's as if I was buying in over here, as you can see, from that low. And so from $1.26, we are currently up 1,339% in a year, which is incredible. It's incredible, and I wish I bought more because I only put in, I think, like $220 into Injective at that point, and right now this is my #1 altcoin in my entire portfolio just because of how bullish it got. And we're very close to the all-time high. I think we might even break above it before the end of the year if we continue pumping with this exact same pace. It's been outperforming everything. It doesn't care about Bitcoin pullbacks. Nothing affects this coin, and I think we could be looking at least at $100 in the next bull market, because that's only almost a 5x from where we are right now. Like, imagine we're sitting at $20. $100 is only a 5x from there, and I think a 5x during a bull market is nothing for Injective, so I think we could be looking at some higher prices as well. Now, if you're looking to buy into Injective, which I know some of you missed out on that, unfortunately, but there are other coins that are going to be performing well, so don't feel, sad because of that. It is what it is. You want to be targeting this area over here. So we have a level at $9.31. That's going to be a nice level for you to enter. So feel free to set up some buy limit orders at around about that price. Then you have the 0.786 fib at $10.95. So if you're going to measure the move down, that's going to be a 38% pullback and a 47% pullback from the current local high. Now, of course, that depends on if we continue pumping for a bit more and then we dump, or we start retracing from here. If we go to the weekly chart, you can see we are absolutely overextended. So this is not where you want to be getting into altcoins, right? Where you wanted to be getting into Injective is down here, right? Down here. Or like we did on Patreon, all the way down here. That's where we were buying, and that's where I was buying a lot of altcoins throughout the bear market when the RSI was very low, when it was boring, when there was no hype, and that's what I was advising everyone in my community, and hopefully a lot of you listened here as well on the YouTube channel. And let me know what is your entry point into Injective, by the way. Let me know if you have that coin, because I know a lot of people did miss out, but I know that a lot of people ended up buying, during this consolidation period in 2022. So between $11 down to $9.30, that's going to be a very good area for you to accumulate some Injective if you haven't already. And if for whatever reason we see a pullback below that, below $9, then feel free to gradually continue buying in, because we don't know if we're going to have a flash crash. We don't know if there's going to be a black swan. So if we drop below all of these levels here, feel free to buy some at the yellow resistance trend line here, or support trend line now, turned resistance, turned support. Then we have the golden ratio at $6.88. I don't think we're going to be dropping down to $6.88, to be honest with you, but $10, $11 to $9 I think is still possible. So that is going to be your great buying opportunity. Volume coming in like crazy. Injective is really, really bullish. Next up, we have Chainlink. And this did exactly what I was saying it was going to do after a 500-day consolidation period. Look at this. What did I keep telling you guys throughout this consolidation, throughout this sideways channel here? I told you that there was going to be a massive breakout. Like, I was 75 to 90% sure that there was going to be a massive breakout, because during this time, institutions, the big players, and everyone is accumulating while the weak hands are selling. I was accumulating here, and as you can see, we had a massive move to the upside. So my average buy-in price is around about $6.70, I think, around there. And right now we are running into a resistance level at the 0.5 at $16.31. And I think there's going to be a pretty hefty pullback here, because we're also very overextended on the weekly RSI. The last time we were sitting this high was back in August 2020 when we had that summer rally in 2020. So I think from here we could be looking at a 30 to 35% pullback, to be honest with you. So if you want to buy into Chainlink, wait for a pullback. Not a financial advice, but you do not want to be buying in Chainlink at $16 right now. That is not a very smart move. So don't FOMO in, set up some buy limit orders, and just wait. Patience is key. We were waiting for Chainlink to pump for 500 days, and from where we bought in initially, we're sitting at a 139% move, which is not bad for a high cap altcoin. So if you want to make gains, you have to learn how to be patient. That's one of the major keys in this space. Top 10 says, can you check ADA? We'll check out ADA. Thank you all for joining, guys. Feel free to leave a like on the live stream. It helps the channel get out there more. And if you really think the content is going to be helpful to your friends and family, feel free to share it around as well. And also feel free to check out the Patreon that's linked down below in the description. You can get access for free for 7 days to my portfolio, my low caps, my exclusive podcasts, to all of that for free. So feel free to check it out. The link is down below in the description. With that being said, let's take a look at some support levels for Chainlink once again, just so you can understand where I would be buying, right? If I didn't have any Chainlink right now, where would I be buying? So first of all, I would be targeting the 20 EMA on the weekly, because in a bull market, the 20 EMA is your support band. So as long as you're bouncing off the 20 EMA, you should be good to go. So that is usually a great entry point in a bull market. If we switch over to the daily chart, you can also, target the 20 EMA here, but I think we're probably going to be losing that with time. So I would wait for the 55 EMA to be retested, right? That's what I would be doing. And if we take a look at the RSI here, let's see if we have a divergence. Well, not really. We were printing a bearish divergence, as you can see, but yeah, so no bearish divergences, that's fine, but we are getting very overextended. Look at the stochastic. Look at the stochastic. This is screaming a pullback, and we need a healthy pullback in order to continue this uptrend. So be patient with Chainlink for now, is my advice. All right, I'm going to go back through the comments and just take a look at... We'll take a look at QNT. That's Coin Hoover's request. QNT, I wanted to buy below $90, but I just didn't have any spare money at the time, so I did not. But this was an amazing entry point. Like on the daily chart, as you can see, you perfectly bounced off the 20 MA, and then you went up. Let's go to the weekly, though. Okay, the weekly chart here, looking pretty good. We're back testing this previous resistance as support all the way through September and October. We have a nice move to the upside, and we're trying to break above the 55 EMA. Doesn't look as bullish as some of the other coins, which is fine. Hopefully we can pull back down to $93 to $94, which is around about the first fib level here, which is this swing low that we printed in September 2020. But in all honesty, you're fine buying in at the moment even, right? If you don't have any QNT, $108 is not that much. I think the market cap is sitting at around about $1 billion, if I'm not mistaken. 1.3 billion. So if you're looking for an easy 10x, then you can start buying in between $110 to $90 QNT, and your average buying price is going to be somewhere between 95 to 97, which is fine. So QNT is okay. If you want, wait until we retrace back down to the 20 EMA on the weekly and then start buying in, because you have all these wicks there. You can even get below $100, but keep in mind, don't have round numbers in your buy or sell limit orders, because that way a lot of people are going to do the exact same thing here. They're going to set up the exact same fibs, and they're going to go and see, hey, $93.70 is a support level. That's exactly where I'm going to set up my buy limit order. And imagine 1,000 people do the exact same thing. But what I would do is I would set it for 93.75 cents, so that when the price comes down, I get filled up immediately, and then the price reverses, hopefully. Because even if the price touches $93.70 on the dot, there is a chance you're not going to get filled because of the amount of people that are on that exact same spot. So just to avoid that and just to avoid not getting filled, just set up the buy limit order slightly higher. That's it. The price comes down, reverses, you're good to go. Everyone that was down here lower is going to be forced to buy in higher, thus pushing the price even higher. Simple math. Yeah, so QNT, feel free to start averaging in if you want to do it right now, but I would say just wait for the 20 EMA. And we haven't seen a pump though, like a massive pump. So if this thing is going to break out, it could happen in the next few weeks. So maybe just to be safe, if you don't have any QNT, maybe start dollar cost averaging in, but obviously I'm not a financial advisor. And we'll probably do a full breakdown for QNT, full TA video sometime in the next few days. Hello Hazik, what are your favorite 100x coins? So like I advised at the start of this stream, I'm not going to give away the entire, portfolio of low caps because that's for Patreon. I don't want to devalue the Patreon, but if we take a look at GraphLink, this is something that we were buying into, and we're already doing a 2x on this, I think, from our buy-in levels because we were targeting the 0.236. And also if we go to the daily chart on GraphLink, give me just a second. And let's go to the weekly here. So we had this massive support block, and we had this massive support level here at roughly 0.003698 cents. That was a great entry point. And we also had this yellow block where I told you guys this would be a good area to start dollar cost averaging. So for example, if you bought off the 0.382, right now you're sitting at 120%. If you bought off 0.003698, you're up approximately 183%. This is a very low cap project, and I think they will be performing well. As you can see, the market cap is only $3.5 million. And if we go to the monthly chart, at the end of October, they were sitting at the market cap of approximately $1.5 million. So they've more than doubled in a month. And, we've been buying in. Great project. Do your own research into it. It's available on KuCoin and Gate.io. We've been talking about it for months on the Patreon, and there are a lot of other projects similar to this one that we were covering. And yeah, that's the 100x low cap that I would share with you guys right now. So feel free to do your own research into it, and don't FOMO in because you don't want to sit through a pullback and wait until the price drops so you can buy in again, right? You want to be buying in when it's dumping. You do not want to be buying in when it already did like a 2x in a few weeks. Wa'il Nabil is asking for Near Protocol. Let's take a look at Near Protocol real quick. I do have Near and Protocol. My average buying price, I believe, is $1.60. And we're staking our Near tokens, one of my biggest holdings in my portfolio. Very bullish on Near Protocol. And as you can see, look at that massive wick on the weekly chart to the 20 EMA, back to that nice support level. That's why I always target the 20 EMA on the weekly for entries. So if you don't have any Near Protocol, feel free to start buying in, below $1.50. But to be honest with you, even right now, this is not the worst price to be getting into Near Protocol. If you don't have any tokens and you want to protect yourself from missing out on the potential pump, feel free to buy in right now. Like, we only went up 58%. That is quite a bit for a high cap altcoin, but this is better than not buying in, because if we continue pumping here, if Near Protocol, starts pulling out an Injective or a Chainlink, then you're going to miss out. So I'm not telling you to FOMO in and go all in, but what I am telling you is that if you don't have any tokens, consider getting maybe a small portion right now and send them into staking. So $1.6 billion market cap, I think this could do very, very well. And it's not a super high cap altcoin, right? This is in the mid cap section of altcoins. So If we see a pullback, what we can do is we can assume that we're going to be coming back down into this falling wedge, which we see on pretty much every single altcoin chart at this point. And then you can buy off the 20 at $1.35, which is a great entry point. And you also have a nice support level there that we created in July earlier this year. So feel free to get into to near protocol between $1.50 and $1.32. If you dump lower below that, great, just buy in more, right? You're going to be sitting very close to your bear market prices. So just keep buying in this entire area here. Buy all of this. And then when you pump, you're going to feel the reward for your patience and for your dollar cost averaging. That's all I can say for near. Like, this is still okay to buy in my opinion. Like, personally, if I had $10,000 right now, I would buy $2,000 to $3,000 worth of near protocol if I didn't have any. The whole world depends on Moon River. I know. That is so true. Colossal Pepe, great TA Hazik. Can you maybe take a look at Radix and Avalanche? Yes, we will take a look at those coins. When will you check for ADA? We'll take a look at ADA in just a second, my friend. I just want to go through all your requests one by one. And once again, thank you for joining the stream. Really, really appreciate it. And we also have Flux to check out. I don't want to miss out any requests here. Okay, so we'll take a look at Flux. Let's take a look at Flux. Hold on, is that Flux or is that not Flux? Yeah, that's the one. $141 million market cap. Do they not have it here? Okay, there we go. Wait, data mine, that's not... What is going on here? Do they not have Flux on... Okay, that's fine. We'll add Flux to our trading view. There we go. It's available on Binance already. Nice. Actually... All right, we'll take a look at the Binance chart, no problem. So jumping into Flux on the weekly, we're not performing as well as some other altcoins are, but what is bullish is that I'm already seeing a nice breakout occurring here. So if we draw a trend line there, and we draw a trend line, well, it's not breaking out yet. There is a massive, massive falling wedge pattern. So this is a bullish reversal pattern. Your technical target is going to be all the way up there at $1.31. From where we are right now, that is a 3x. And that is retesting the September 2022 local high, which was initially a back test of this support in February 2022. Right, so we bounced off of that, and then we dumped, back test of resistance, another dump. So a breakout from here is looking imminent because the markets are looking bullish. Yes, we might have a correction, but some altcoins might have a delayed pump. So Bitcoin might start pulling back down, and some altcoins might start pumping. And this is not a full-on alt season, by the way, so don't think that this is what an alt season looks like. Alt seasons are, are a lot more bullish, especially during those bull market periods. So if you want to buy in right now, that's fine. We're not very overextended from the bear market low. We're only up approximately 43%. So I wouldn't mind buying in here at all. And if we continue dumping for some reason, we have a retest of the support down below, just buy more. That's fine. But this is a great entry point for Flux, especially considering the fact that we are in the apex of this pattern. And as you know, the closer you are to the apex of the pattern, the higher the chances for a breakout. And a breakout from here would potentially take us all the way up to $1.31, which is our technical target. So for Flux, it's a buy in my opinion. And let's take a look at Egld. I don't want to miss out on Egld. So we do have Egld in our portfolio. We've been buying it through the bear market. We have this broadening descending wedge, which we are breaking out of. And we were buying Egld pretty much throughout this dump here. My average buy-in price, I think, is around $36. which is roughly this area over here, as you can see. That area over there, that retest there, we're potentially going to come back down, back test that as support. We could potentially even back test the teal resistance trend line as support, because as you can see, this was a massive resistance level for us. And we were trying to hold, we are still trying to hold the 55 EMA as support. I don't think we're going to do that. I think we're simply going to wait for the 20 EMA to creep up. Then we dump down to the 20, back test it, and then we continue if we're going to be getting the bullish outcome. Obviously, in a bearish outcome, we're going to potentially come back down into the pattern. If we have a flash crash, a black swan event, whatever it is. But if we're going to be looking at a healthy retracement, then I think entering at $37 is a great move for you, especially if you don't have any Egld right now. That would only be up approximately 64% from the bear market low, which is not a lot. So you're still good to buy at $37. If it dips below, feel free to buy more. Not a huge issue. So Egld is a great project, very bullish on them, and I'm looking to, see if we can get to $800 to $900 in the next bull market. And my apologies about that. There we go. So Egld is looking bullish, and we're going to take a look at the next coin there, which I think was AVAX, right? Now, I don't have any AVAX, but what I do have, or what I did show you, is a massive support where you could enter. So if we go to the AVAX chart here, let's switch over to the red list. Where is AVAX? There we go. Oh my God, AVAX is pumping really hard. I did not see this pump. Did this just start? Wow, AVAX doing really well. Nice. So we take a look at this massive block. And believe it or not, we set this block up all the way back in July of 2021. This block here from $10.64 down to $9.40 from July 2021, and we back tested it once in January this year. Then we had another back test in May 2023, and now we slightly dipped below that, right? So we went down to the 0.38 on the fib here, and you could have been buying in even lower than that, but let's say you bought somewhere in the middle. Right now, you're almost up, 70% actually. You're up 70% on the dot, which is great. There is a nice resistance level that we're running into there. So we could see a retracement from there. If you're looking to buy into AVAX, I would start at $13.22 down to $11.34. That's where you can have your buy-in or your average buy-in. If you dip below that and for whatever reason, you come back down and you touch this golden support block, that's right, it's golden because the last time I gave you this block in 2021, we had a massive bounce. And then we had another bounce from January 2023, and we had a somewhat relatively nice bounce from May 2023. And right now we're seeing another bounce. So every time you come back down to that support block between $10.64 down to $9.40, you have an amazing buying opportunity. Full disclosure, I don't have any AVAX. I wasn't looking to buy into that project. But if I was buying, I would have definitely bought in at, between $10 to $9. Anton Pashkulev is saying, are you taking any profits? So right now, I'm not taking any profits. I am currently holding a few swing trades, which essentially means that I'm selling some of the altcoins at certain prices and then I'm just buying back in cheaper. And I'm only doing that with altcoins that are already very overextended. So I'm not trying to be a degen and absolutely selling 50% of my portfolio and then just waiting for a pullback. I'm not going to do that because the chances of us pumping right now are a lot higher than us dumping in the grand scheme of things, right? So we already bottomed out. So there's not much more space to go down. But in the next few years, we're going to be going up. So it's favorable for me to hold my assets rather than risking them. So if you were entering for a short to mid-term trade, then selling right now is fine, in my opinion. This is where you actually want to be selling because you're getting overextended. Like if you entered Cardano, Chainlink, and all of these coins to simply, buy in and then sell, then feel free to do that right now. Why not? You can make some money, and you're not planning to hold those coins for the long term, then feel free to sell them. That's what you should be doing, because if you're going to be waiting for a nice, round number to be reached, then you're just going to end up riding the wave down and you're not going to be able to sell. But if you're holding for the long term, you know nothing about swing trading, and you're very emotional, then feel free to stake your coins, remove them from your, from your hot wallet, and just don't look at them. That's a lot easier, trust me. But in general, I'm not taking any profits right now, no. And when I will start taking profits, my patrons will be advised first, of course, on the Patreon. All right, let's take a look at ADA now. Let's take a look at ADA. We do have ADA, and we've been buying ADA throughout the bear market. And right now we are trying to break out of this symmetrical triangle here. We're breaking above the 55 EMA. We could get to $44 here in just a nice swift, back test of resistance. So if you are looking to swing trade, or if you are looking to sell above 40 cents, then 44 cents here is going to be a nice level for you to do that. And then maybe wait for a retracement. But ADA is definitely starting to get overextended. We are still not in the overbought on the weekly, so I would be careful selling right now if you're looking for a swing trade, because we could go slightly higher. But then, of course, it depends on what your risk management is and when you bought, or where did you buy in. Because if you bought in at 24 cents, you're up 61%. So if that's not enough for you for a swing trade or for a short-term trade, then I don't know what is. If you want to be greedy and wait until it, gets to 60 cents, you might have to wait for a few more months. I don't know what the future holds. But if you are holding for the long term, stake your coins. Not a financial advice, but just I would stake my coins. That's what I'm doing. I'm holding them on a cold wallet, staking them, and I'm not worried about selling in the next year or so, because I think Cardano is going to be getting to $5 at the very least. And my exit strategy on Cardano, I think, is already out on Patreon. So if you want to know what my exit strategies are, feel free to check out my Patreon. We already did a few videos for some of the coins, and we'll be doing exit strategies for all of the coins that I'm holding in my main portfolio. So if you haven't bought any Cardano yet for some reason, and you're looking to buy in right now, I would say probably don't do that, because we are going to be getting a retracement, and just like any other altcoin, it will start pulling back down once Bitcoin is starting to pull back. But we can see that Ethereum is starting to rally. That's why some of the altcoins are now following Ethereum. And even when Ethereum stops and starts consolidating or even retracing, altcoins still could continue rallying, because the money flows from Bitcoin into Ethereum, then from Ethereum into altcoins, and then into those degen meme coin plays. So this cycle is going on and on. And we could see Cardano moving forward and, reaching 44 cents, like I said. Where would I be buying in? I would first of all target this local high, and we would test that, and we would wait for a retest of support at roughly 36 cents. That would be my first entry. And then I would start looking at a lot of these lows here. For example, we have another level there. We have another level over there. So we have 32.5 cents, we have 30.5 cents. All of these are levels that we want to be looking at. What we can also do is set up a fib retracement from that low to that high. As you can see, we have 39, almost 40 cents as a resistance. We could get rejected from there. And then you have your golden pocket between 35 or 36 cents roughly down to 33 cents. That is where you want to be buying in. And if you dip lower than that, fine, that's fine, buy more. You're going to bring down your average buying price. But I'm just saying that I would have been fine with my average price between 36 and 34 cents. In fact, I think my average buying price is 32 cents. So I'm okay with that. If we dip below 30 cents, I will buy more tokens. I'm totally fine waiting for a few months, even buying in March next year. If we have a massive dump, I would do that, because why not? But don't go all in at the current prices, because you are going to get wrecked. You're going to see a pullback, and you'll be sorry that you, FOMO'd in. That's a lesson that I've learned many times when I started in crypto. But overall, Cardano, very bullish on the project. I think it's going to be doing well. I don't think it's going to kill Ethereum, but I think it's definitely going to be breaking above the previous all-time high. Now, we can take a look at Moonriver. Let me check how long we've been going for. $0.50. Okay, 50 minutes rather, not 50 cents. We'll go through a few more altcoins, and that should be it. All right, so taking a look at Moonriver, we have started pumping just slightly. You know, we did see a 77% move to the upside. This is nothing crazy yet. Don't get, overly excited. Actually, let me just switch over to this chart here on the daily. It's going to be better for you guys. There we go. On the weekly, sorry. So you can see we are running into a resistance level at $6.13. We have started breaking through a few resistance levels here and there. If you haven't bought into Moonriver, feel free to wait. But you were given, to be fair, you were given a nice opportunity from September until the end of October to buy in below $4, even below $5. That was a great buying opportunity. If you did not capitalize on that and you want to buy in right now, that's fine, but just expect a pullback moving forward, because when there's a rally, there's a pullback afterwards. So you have to be expecting a pullback, and you have to be okay with that pullback. And you have to have some money on the sidelines to buy in case it does happen. I have Moonriver. I'm staking on the Nova wallet, and it's not a huge position, but it's a low cap gem, so I'm not getting myself too overexposed with all these low caps. But Moonriver can definitely, potentially get to $150 to $200 in the next bull market, especially with the Polkadot 2.0. I think Moonriver can get really, really bullish. So if you're looking to buy into Moonriver, I would say, like right now is what, $5.84. I mean, you can even buy in right now, to be honest with you. This is not expensive at all. I mean, we're only up 60% from the bear market low, so you can start buying in right now all the way down to $4. That's fine. If your average buying price is between $6 and $4, you're good to go. So let's say your average buying price is what, $5 roughly, right? And you go to $120. That's 2,322%. That's great. That is great profit. Show me a different asset that can do that in a span of a few years. So, and that's only if we assume that it only gets to $120. It could go much higher, right? So we never know. All right. Hey there. Nice to see you on the stream. Please take a look at DGB if you got some time left. Appreciate the content. Where it can pull back? Top 10. If you're asking about ADA, like I said, anywhere between 35 to 32 cents, I would expect a pullback to be somewhere around those prices, and that's where you can start buying in. If we dip a bit lower, that's fine. Just buy more tokens. I can't give you an exact estimate of where it's going to dip, right? Because I don't know how deep the pullback is going to be. What if China bans crypto for the 7th time in a row and we get a 50% pullback? We don't know what's going to be happening. So just be ready for both outcomes, essentially. Adrian Marius, Pop, need to step out. Have a great night. See you next time. No problem. Thanks for joining the stream. All right, so Element71 is asking for DGB, which is, I think, Digibyte, if I'm not mistaken. And yes, Digibyte. Okay. Well, let's take a look at Digibyte, and that'll be our last altcoin. We'll still do a few videos today on the channel for some altcoins. I think we'll cover Matic. We'll cover Near Protocol, I think. So this is DGB on the daily. Let's switch over to the weekly. Okay, nothing huge. Let's see if we can set up a channel pattern here. At least somewhat of a channel pattern. Well, kind of, yeah. So a breakout from here is very, very possible, because with channel down patterns, you're typically breaking to the upside. Now, whether that is going to happen this time around or we're going to have a retracement and then another move to the upside, no one knows. Because as long as you're in the channel down pattern, you have to be expecting to adhere to the resistance and support. So you're coming up to the resistance, you have to expect a pullback down to the support. You're coming down to the support, you have to expect a bounce from the support into the resistance, and so on and so forth, until you get a spike of volume, the bulls come in and they break above the resistance. And then we have a nice move to the upside. Once that happens, whether it happens right now or in a few weeks or in a few months, this is going to be a massive level for you to target. That is potentially going to be the first major resistance we run into at 0.0180 cents. From where we are right now, that is a 2x essentially from the current prices. And that's the February 2022 and November 2020 support levels that we lost. And in fact, if we set up a fib retracement here, I think that we perfectly retraced down to the 1.618, right? Almost. We almost got down to the 1.618, but we definitely got down to the 1.414. So essentially, you could say that the correction has played out, and now we're going to be starting to look for moves to the upside. And once we start breaking massive resistance levels, that's when you set targets to the upside, because when you're breaking support, you have targets to the downside. When you're doing the opposite, you have targets to the upside. Colossal Pepe, can you look at Radix? Yes, actually, we'll take a look at Radix, because that was requested by you, I think, at the start of the stream. Okay, so yeah, Digibyte, it's fine if you want to start buying in right now. Like I said, as long as you're within the realms of this channel down pattern, I think buying in is okay. This hasn't pumped massively, so yes, it could retrace slightly with the markets, and you can just buy more. If you don't want to miss out, it's fine buying in here, right? It's not like we printed a massive candle and you're asking me if you want to buy in here. Then of course I would have told you that, no, you have to wait, my friend. That's not an optimal entry point, but here, this is still an optimal entry point. Now let's take a look at Radix and we'll wrap up and we'll talk about the interest rates for a second and we'll wrap up the stream there. So this is XRD. We do have XRD, and I think my average buying price is around 5 cents. Great asset, I think, is going to be performing very well during the bull market. This is a nice support block for us to retest. We've done this once in December last year, once in March this year, once in October 2023. And if we take a look at, let's set up a fib retracement just real quick. Oh my God, I hate when it doesn't give me the fib immediately. Yeah, so if we start pumping, we could run into the golden ratio here at around about 7 cents. You can see how fast we can start pumping with this March into April pump. Like XRD did massive gains in a month, a 4x, which is incredible. So I'm still buying in. I think I have a pretty good position for now. If we dump below 4 cents, I'm going to buy even more because I do like the project, and I'm not going to get myself too overexposed to it because you really don't want to be doing that with any coin in case it rug pulls, in case something happens with the project, in case the team starts suing each other, wink wink gala, and you're going to lose a lot of money, right? And you don't know if it's going to come back up to the previous prices or the previous highs. So you want to be careful with that. But at the current prices, XRD is an amazing entry point, my friends. If you don't have any XRD yet, this is the time to be accumulating. What do you think about Polkadot 2.0 and they will burn tokens and will be 50 projects now with DOT 2.0, 500 to 1,000? Very bullish on that. There will be a lot more demand for the Polkadot coin itself. That's why I think it's going to be performing very well during the bull market. Of course, if everything plays out the way they're planning it, if there is demand and if there are a lot of projects coming to their blockchain, it's going to be incredible for the coin. Right now, a lot of projects can't do that because it's too expensive because of how the parachain system is set up. But with the Polkadot 2.0 system, they're going to make it more accessible to, early developers, to new teams, to startups. It's going to be easier for them to integrate on the Polkadot blockchain. And we just saw the partnership with Cardano a few days ago. I don't think Polkadot is going anywhere. I think it's going to be doing massive, and I think it's going to be breaking above its previous all-time high. But I think I will do a separate video regarding Polkadot 2.0 just so I can explain everything for the people who don't know why is it happening. Thanks, man. We'll consider joining your Patreon, Element71. Yeah, thank you. The link is down below in the description. You can just simply check everything out for free for 7 days. And if you like it, feel free to stay. We try to do daily posts there. Everything ranging from exclusive podcasts to low caps, to buy alerts, to sell alerts, to swing trades, to portfolio reviews, to airdrops. We do everything on there. And of course, your requests as well. Yeah, and also they said the lease will be shorter and also in GLMR coin. So we won't have enough time for GLMR, my friend. I quickly want to take a look at the interest rates here. So it is possible we're not going to be getting any more interest rate hikes until we start cutting them down in 2024. Whether that is going to be in March or June, we don't know yet. But it looks like the investors are starting to, they're looking for a 12.4% expectation for March 2024 for an ease, which is essentially a cut. And in May, that is looking at 33%. In June, a 60% cut. So sometime within the first half of 2024, we will start seeing interest rate cuts. Unless something breaks in the system, we have another bank run, we have something huge, massive going on in the economy. And then we could definitely see those cuts coming into play a lot earlier. We're definitely going to see the US printing a lot more dollars, and they're going to be sending them to their friends. And I think that is going to be adding, obviously, to the inflation issue, which they're trying to battle while they're trying to print more dollars at the same time. Stupid me, I guess I don't know how inflation works. And yeah, I think all of that is going to come into play for the cuts, and then obviously the Bitcoin halving happening in April 2024, and with Tesla starting to accept Bitcoins again, hopefully sometime around the same time, and the ETFs, I think those factors will come into play for the bull market, and that's when we have our initial launch into 2025, and I think sometime in the first half of 2025, we are going to be seeing our bull market peak at around about $120,000 to $150,000. That's what I think. And yeah, we did take a look at a lot of coins. Feel free to scroll back through the video. We covered Solana, Near, Link, Injective, Polkadot, Cardano, a low cap gem, GraphLink. So feel free to just watch the stream from the start. And it's now 4x from all-time high. Yep. Exactly. So I want to thank you all for joining the stream, guys. Very much appreciated. Feel free to subscribe to the channel, share the video, leave a like, spread the word, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Take care and goodbye.